Hello, welcome back to Otter Pop Culture. Today we're gonna go over the fourth episode of All Stars 4 of RuPaul's Drag Race. This episode is titled Jersey Justice, and so today in this type of we're completely gonna be caught up completely with this one until the next one. So. Starting off in this episode, we leave away Gia Gunn, Jasmine Masters, and Farrah Moan, which is so those type of like drag queens, those type of queens are finally gone, and so we actually have the actual like ones that actually have the talent, aside from maybe like Monet, who's back and forth. I think she's talented. I think that she just needs to hone in exactly what she needs to be doing. But she's still good enough to where she deserves to be here, so kind of anybody could win. So starting off, we have the guest stars that are in this is Erica Ash, who is who is a comedian, and we have Zoe Kravitz, who I completely love. So we have those two, and so we move on to the challenge, and we have the first. So each person in the Jersey Justice has to do kind of like Judge Judy, where they all like they're each in teams, and each team has to improv, and which is I understand totally is a very difficult thing for a lot of people, a lot of queens, and we'll totally see as we go on. So that's improv, and they have to talk about a certain story off a topic of each one. And there's already an ending that's already been made, but they have to feed into that and get to that point and still be entertaining and still stand out and still not get out of control with it. So the first team was Latrice Monet and Monique, and they're doing How About Them Cakes, which is about this person which is about Monique's gets a cake from Latrice's character, and they basically the cake is wrong, and is also saying somebody is trash, it's a whore, Lisa's a whore, I think it said, and so it starts off like that. And so with that team, Monique immediately came in and came in hard, and she was so great. She's her voice. The thing that I don't really care for her is the fact that when she does voices, her voice goes very high and pitchy, and it could be very obnoxious. But she, even with that aside, it still was really good. Latrice on the other hand, was a defendant, and it just wasn't doing so hot. She was complaining how everybody was very loud and how she was waiting her turn, but it just didn't seem like she still stood out. It reminded me of, again, that she doesn't, when it comes to acting challenges, she just does not shine unless she's pushed to shine. So, and then later on came in Monet, which you think that would come to her disadvantage, but actually just helps her more, just adds more character, which drowns out Latrice even more. And the only way that she kind of jumps in is when there starts to fight and there's cake being thrown at each other, that she jumps in, but it's a little too late. So we move on to You Make Me Look Like a Bitch by Naomi and Manila, Manila did a great job. Naomi, I don't understand why people don't give her that much credit, because I know she doesn't really stick out sometimes, which I really hope that she kind of does. Eventually something gets her standing out, because I kind of think that she's doing a good job. There's nothing entirely she just has she's this much left to just kind of just push out, and then they'll be like, oh my god, she's amazing, blah blah blah, which she is already. But I do give her credit for what she did, is that every sentence she said, it hit. Everything that she did, her look was amazing and super funny. They worked really well as a team. So and that one's about the Manila's character went into a shop, or went into a portable shop that Naomi's character was driving, and Naomi gave her a haircut and turned out to be a poodle haircut, so she's suing. So that one was really fun, very clean, easy, easily one of the best. And then finally we get to Valentina and Trinity, which is the Snookered by Snooki, and excuse me. And so the thing with that one was, I personally thought it was one of my I say the storyline didn't really make sense until the very end, but Valentina killed it. She was so funny with bada bing bada boom, bada bing bada boom. Like I thought that was super funny. I thought Trinity was really funny. They kept their accents really fun. It looked like they were really feeding off each other. So that was really good. I think all of them, that was my favorite, aside from the cake throwing. And so we moved on to the RuPaul. Another thing, so we move on to deliberation and the judgments and everything. And so RuPaul comes out, and she finally, in her runway, she's actually showing her legs, which looks so amazing. And it seems like in this season she's showing you, like, this is why I'm fucking here. This is why I'm RuPaul. And she looked amazing. And then the runway highlight was supposed to be curves and swerves or something like that. So highlights were Valentina, and she had this deconstructed dress that kind of take it apart, like with the paddings and the tape around the head, and there's no wig, and it looked so high fashion, like way under, one of the most, of all of them, the most underrated look of that episode. Trinity came out with her wavy hair and her ruffle type of bodysuit looked really cute, which I was very fascinated with. And then who was this? Monique came out with her brown cow, which was very drag. It was very specifically drag, and I like that, and it was really cute. And then the Latrice came out, which is one thing I didn't really care for, was the fact that she just looked exactly like Latrice. You know, it was just like another rhinestone dress with big hair. Like, we've seen it before. Which goes down to the fact that the bottom people were Monet and Latrice, which made a lot of sense, so we're still on good track of what we're doing. There's a lot of issues, and by the way, the winners were Monet and Manila. Manila had a huge issue with trying to say that she's sending Latrice home. I think the idea, which is, I was talking with one of my friends, and one thing that he pointed out was that it could be the fact that Manila was actually more upset about it, that she half-assed her lip sync, which is why she didn't win, so she wouldn't be responsible for sending her friend home. Which is, I think Latrice was supposed to go home. Like, everybody was like, kind of had this whole little thing of just like, oh, send her home, sending a legend home. And it's like, well, I mean, technically Manila would be a legend, you know, but it's just like, you can't really hold that back. You know, if you're gonna win, you gotta win. Everything has to be fair. We don't save people because there happen to be a history of legends. You know, it's not the point. She sucked throughout the whole season, and she should be home. She should have been sent home, and she did. So Monique won, so she sent Latrice home, and we finally get her home. So now we're down to whoever, which is, I think Manila's gonna be the one that sends home next. If either her, which I hope it has, because I don't think that she's really solid in this game. I think she's playing a certain game, which is cute but doesn't really work well. Anyway, so that's it. So we're completely caught up. I'll see you on the next one, and we will talk about the next one, and I hope you guys has a great weekend. Okay, bye.